and they just don't ever do it.
Yeah.
And, I know what it was. In Illinois, to have a gun, you have to have a state gun license. They don't call it that. They call it a firearm owner's ID card.
Criminal identification card, yeah.
You have to get that, and that's through Illinois State Police, to buy ammo. As an 18-year-old kid, I couldn't buy .22 ammo until I filled out and got approved for an FOID card to buy ammo. There may be some nuance there I don't remember because it's been a long time since I bought bullets in Illinois. But so fast forward to the last several years, and those cards expire like a driver's license.
Yes, they do.
And so the state police just are taking their sweet Christmas time.
Sweet Christmas.
To renew FOID cards, and as a result, you're not even legal to have the gun, I believe.
Right.
And you damn sure can't buy ammo for it or go shoot it anywhere where 5-0 might find you. And all they're doing is just sandbagging it and letting the FOID renewals stack up.
So Jim and I were talking about politics before the show started. So you can imagine,
which we shouldn't do, but
how happy. Well, no, I will respectfully disagree with that. That's how we got into this mess, is that we all agreed not to talk about politics, and now we are on opposite ends of the spectrum because nobody's talked about it for generations.
I guess.
Anyhow,
what's up, Bill?
So I was gonna say, you can imagine how angsty we're gonna be for the rest of the stream. So strap in, it's gonna be fun.
Exactly right, 4.5. Even though 4.5 is not as cool as 9mm. You're right.
Or as 5.7.
Or as 5.7. I mean, because hot and fast is like I like my women too.
From the Ham Shack. Much love from the Ham Shack. Haven't seen you in a while, brother. Good to have you back.
What's up, dude?
So if you guys haven't been here in a while,
hey, John.
At least 1 month, because it's been 1 month to the Monday, since we have done the first Monday questionnaire, this is the show where we actually think we know what we're talking about. Usually we don't know what we're doing, and we do it together, and we kind of figure it out as we go along. But this time we think we know what we're talking about. There is a form in the description that we've been talking about for the last, what is this? This is the third month I think we've done this. The last 3 months we've been talking about this form. If you put your questions in the form, it gives us the ability to have a little bit of extra context to know what's going on. Like I like to rib you guys about, like, you don't put the message in the chat that says, I have a question. And then we say, okay, 4 or 5, what's your question? And then we wait for the YouTube delay and for you to hear it and for you to type and all that other kind of jazz. And then you hear us say, what's your question? And you type your question in, and then we need more context, and so on and so on and so on. So put it in the form. You can cut in front of the line if you are so impatient as to want to have your question answered ahead of everybody else's by leaving a super chat with your question in the super chat. If you put a question in without a super chat, we're going to assume that it's not terribly urgent for you, and we're just going to make fun of you because, we're feeling that way tonight. But, and don't go buying questions for other people. That's you think you're being polite, but I still don't know what their question is.
I mean, keep in mind, a man once said there ain't no such thing as a free lunch. So you're just enabling those people.
Right. How are they going to learn?
That's right.
Right.
Being dumb should hurt.
Right. Exactly. That's something that we need to work on. So another thing I've got going on, I'm going to add that extra camera. And I'm going to do the magic draggity drag because this is weird. We got to do it all public. I have a project that we did, I want to say April. We took apart the thing that's in the yellow case and found out that we needed the parts that were in the white case. And then in order to install the thing in the white case into the thing in the yellow case, I needed these tools. So I got all of these things here together for y'all today. And what this is a device that I done blowed up. This is the MakerHawk load testing device. And what you do is you put electricity into here, and this computer measures the electricity that comes through here and goes out as heat through the parts that are in this box that I've done blowed up. And the way I blowed it up was I didn't follow Ohm's law. This is rated at a certain level of watts that can go through it, and I exceeded those watts, and I heard a pop, and that was it. That was all she wrote was the popping sound. So we're going to replace that part while we answer questions because eye candy. I know you guys have short attention spans, and we need to do both things at once.
Hold on, we have breaking news from the chat.
Breaking news.
Alpha Antenna has some surplus whips on sale.
Whips.
17 3/4 foot and 34 foot 6 inches.
These are really good. These are
That's the
resonant.
one you guys were
17-foot.
all about at Dayton, right?
Yeah, it's huge. It's like that big around at the base.
Yeah.
And the 17-foot is resonant on 20 meters up to 2 meters. The 34 is resonant on 40. Resonant. I almost mispronounced that. On 40 meters up to 2 meters. Could you imagine carrying a whip in your pocket that will get you from 2 meters to 40 meters? No tuner, no nothing.
Excuse me, I'm kind of busy right now, T.O.
Are you buying something on stream?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let me share it. Let me share it with my people.
And we can talk about these because we don't have any chameleon giveaways tonight.
All right. Is that sharing? Yeah, it's sharing.
It's sharing. Yeah, it default shares.
See, I get confused.
It's the tall, skinny thing in the center of the page there. It's just hard to see because, it's impossible to take a photograph of an antenna.
Yeah. I'm trying to look and see if I need any of this other crap.
Yes.
Element kit. What is that, radials? I got enough wire for radials.
Yeah, ground radials. What's that, a ground spike?
Yeah, I got one of those. That probably would fit. $135 for a stick? No.
And I think we're a man down. I think Frank is under the weather, so we might be a little delayed with some links.
What links do we need? I have them all sitting here. I dropped the
the one that
questionnaire.
you just clicked on, the one that you're talking about right now.
Well, let me hold on.
I was just letting the people know that Jim was otherwise detained, and our Randy isn't here.
All right. And go. There it is, my friends.
Awesome.
It's in the chat. All right. Don said
Now,
we don't
Hayden
need
was
no
saying-
stinking Frank.
Hayden was saying we could do. Oh, you got to set that up in advance. Maybe.
What, this
I don't know.
website
Maybe you can
is
play with it.
slow. Apparently, everyone is trying to buy a whip right now.
It was slow earlier today when I was looking at it.
Damn it. Okay.
Because
well.
Locutus sent it to us.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Now you
Check
might
out.
want to stop sharing your screen.
Let's see. Well, they can have my name. I'm not going to type in a credit card number.
And your credit card number.
I'm going to have to. All right. Allow. And stop sharing.
Awesome. Perfect timing. So this is also a really good test of the Pine Sil's capabilities and of the new, they're like right there. I did those USB power strip review things. I'm going to actually power it off of the USB power strip while I do this. And the reason why it's going to be a good test is because this thing is designed to shove some current through. And you can see, look at that, even focuses. You can see the scorch mark on there, but see how thick and fat those traces are? And that middle trace connects up to that big ground plane there. So I'm going to have to put a lot of heat into that thing. So I'm going to get to work while you're busy spending money.
Yep. Just please stand by. I'm hustling as fast as I can.
Thank you for holding. Please hold.
This website is painful.
So I'm going to remove this power connector, which is keyed, so it can only go back on one way. And then you can see there's a little bit of heatsink compound on there. And this actually, the camera's actually doing it justice. Let me see if I can get the reflection just right. You can
Am I
see
a robot? I don't think so.
Not last time I checked. I was supposed to stay in Huntsville. Sorry, Jim.
It tickled when you checked.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of a scratch and scrape and tool and machine marks on there. And that's actually the reason why you do heatsink compound, is to make a smooth mating surface between the heatsink and the back of the device, the back of the dingus. So I'm going to get my soldering iron warmed up. And then we can get to the first question.
Scott has an interesting comment, not to trigger the ape. Well, he ain't here. We can talk. Just don't say his name 2 more times.
Right.
Did you see
Yeah,
where
get
Gabble
over
Antenna is prototyping carbon fiber telescoping
Yes.
whips?
Yes, we did.
I tested it. I can't. There ain't a difference. It's the same thing, different day. And Grumpy Don also loves his carbon fiber. And
So Grumpy Don doesn't like the carbon fiber whip because it's not adjustable for resonance. You have to use a loading coil. But I gotta tell you, I should link this in the chat.
well,
too.
I tested the carbon fiber mass, not a carbon fiber whip, but yeah.
But this is that super sexy loading coil that they have.
Well,
Gable makes some really good stuff.
That is hot. Yeah,
And
they make that
is,
cool little tripod dingus.
Yeah, it's SO239 or 3/8-24 on the bottom, and it's 3/8-24 on the top. So you take this and you mount that carbon fiber fixed length whip, non-adjustable whip, to the top of it, and then you can adjust it with this. And it's about half the weight.
Done.
Awesome. Jim has done his part.
All right, are we ready for a question? And guys, I posted the link to the form in the chat. You can put your questions in the form live, hot right now,
Yeah,
and
no charge.
If they're in the forum, they'll get answered.
The line form's back there.
Yeah. All right. Nasser Nassab, and Nasser, I hope I'm saying your name right. I apologize if I'm not. KR4ECC. What happens when your antenna has good SWR but less than 50 ohms to the radio? Can you POTA from your vehicle?
Say that again. I missed the beginning because it got way technical real fast.
He's asking what happens when your antenna has good SWR but less than 50 ohms to the radio. So that kind of won't work, Nasser. If you have good SWR, you're reasonably close to 50.
Yeah, because that's what's measuring. Yep.
That's what's measuring it. Now, if your radio is measuring it, if you have an SWR meter in your radio, like a 7300 or a G90 or something like that, not an 891, and the only thing hooked to your radio is your antenna, so your radio is doing the measuring, you're close to 50 ohms if you have, anything decent. I'm going to have to math on stream, and this is killing me. 1-to-1 means you have exactly 50 ohms. 2-to-1 is you've got 100 ohms of impedance. Did I math that the right way?
Yeah, or 25, because it can go either direction.
It can go either direction, I think. And then 3-to-1 would be 150 ohms, something like that. So it doesn't have to be exactly 1-to-1, and it almost never is. It will still work. Now, typically, on almost every radio that's been made in the last bazillion years, you want under 3 for a couple reasons. Number one, the radio will be happier when that SWR is better because it's a better impedance match, and you don't have a large standing wave ratio, which is where power is bouncing back to your radio. And it will work with something greater than 1-to-1, but you're also losing some power as well. And you can get all mathy on that, and I'm not going to get into that. But that's why you want good SWR, because that indicates that you have a decent impedance match. And I'm sure Hollywood is going to correct me if I said anything wrong there, because he's way smarter than me about this sort of thing. SWR is used a lot by hams, and the CB people used it years ago too, and still do. It's not the be-all, end-all of how good your antenna is, but it's how good of an impedance match you have, and it's kind of an index to how well things should work for you. There are other factors: takeoff angle, potential things blocking your signal, right? Whether it's a mobile antenna or an HF antenna, so on and so forth. Distance from ground, how good of a ground plane you have, number of radials, a whole ton of factors affect how well it gets out. But that's what SWR is how good of an impedance match you have. So the answer to your question is, it will work until it won't work. And it depends on your radio, but if that SWR is too high,
it depends on their bingo card.
Yeah, right. The radio will potentially fold back power if your SWR is too high, because it will damage the radio if too much power comes back because of very high SWR. And so the radio will, and you just won't get out. Sorry, I kind of took that whole thing over. I apologize.
No, that's good. That's good. You were pretty spot on with that. I will not detract. I will add to that you also want to think about reactance, and reactance and resonance don't always overlap with each other. And then you also need to remember that original ham radios didn't have 50 ohm match. It wasn't a standard. It wasn't anything anybody thought of. They all had built-in manual tuners. So don't be afraid of it. Just, keep it under 2-to-1. Keep it 2-to-1 or under if you want to actually transmit and make some contacts. And if you guys have been paying attention, I've been working on desoldering this. I got one full bit of solder wick out, but that was at 640, and I'm going to turn this thing up to 800 because I need to go full blast, full send on this thing.
Full send.
And it's working, but it's going to take forever, and especially since I'm blowing cold air over it, it's heat sinking fast. So there's 801. Let's watch it ramp up to, look at that. That was done.
So Dave, Frequency Frontiers, has dropped a question in the chat.
Dave? Oh, yeah. Is that a question? It doesn't look like it's in the form of a question.
But it's not accompanied by a super chat. He said, I
bad
recently
form.
built a 253-foot loop antenna and used 20-gauge wire in it, stretching and sagging. What size wire would you recommend? Better?
I'd recommend
Better wire.
Dropping that in the form in the description and waiting your turn in line instead of trying to cut in rudely without dropping a super chat, Dave. I saw what you were trying to do there, and everybody else in the stream is just like rolling their eyes at you.
That's right.
And there we go.
Okay,
$2.
David answered. You're all right, Dave. It's not necessarily the gauge of the wire that's a factor, but copper will stretch.
Yeah.
On something like a 253-foot loop, use electric fence wire, dude.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And put some strain relief at the ends of it also.
Yeah.
There was a lot of solder on this. Jeez. They were acting like they were going to grab some heat with this thing.
Okay, let's go to our next customer.
Thank you, Dave.
Dave, thank you. You're all right, Davo. And I'll see you next week, buddy. All right, Nasser, we got Liberty Cave. LC, are you in the chat? I'm sure you are. Mr. LC said, how do I affordably provide uninterrupted power to a station that is digipeating, eye-gating, and doing other stuff?
Affordably.
Other digital services that should be...
That's right, Dave. Send in super chats for plane tickets.
Wish this would wrap the questions. It doesn't.
There's a word wrapped feature in the spreadsheet there.
Somewhere.
There's some information that may be left out of that, and that is what transmitter is he using? Is he actually transmitting? Is it a receive only?
He said he's...
no, he said digipeater. So
he said digipeating, yeah. My station runs mobile radios for VHF, UHF, and 100. So, LC, what I've got on my digipeater, which is a Linko DR135. The power supply is plugged into a standard computer UPS. That's it.
Yeah, Golden makes a nice UPS, but it's AC only.
Yeah, the power supply is AC. That plugs into the UPS.
Yeah.
And then the radio plugs in the power supply, which is
so
also
we're assuming shore
how
power with that, which I'm not arguing with.
Well, it'll keep it from bouncing on a power outage. Now, if he wants long term, then you are talking like something like that.
Like power gate, battery, solar panel.
Power gate that you can run shore power with a battery backup, and you could put like a 50 or a hundo on it, and then it would switch over and run long term, kind of like they do with repeaters. Like our fire department repeater's got 200 amp hour life pose on it. So if the shore power goes down, we get about, I don't know, a day or so out of the repeater use.
A ton of solder on this.
So that's the easiest way to do that.
Yeah. So the Epic Power Gate has a built-in solar charge controller. And you plug the charge controller into one side, you plug your power supply into the other, and then into the third side, because this has got 3 sides to it, you plug a lithium iron phosphate battery in. It will use the solar power or the power supply to charge the battery. And then if either one of those things disappears, you'll have the battery to provide juice to the radios.
And apparently we broke Alpha Antenna's website. It's
Nice.
more than the modem could handle, fellas. Faster than that USR 9600 HST would go.
Man, I miss those days.
All right. Ron, W4ORH,
The air hammer.
has asked, has anyone had success getting the FTX1 to accept band frequency changes sent from the WSJTX dashboard. I don't have
That
one,
would be
Ron.
a CAT MRD question, Ron. And he will probably have that radio with him at Huntsville. And he did a video today on FT8ing with that thing.
Yep.
So it might be new enough that there isn't a definition for the radio. I would try using the FT710 definition, since I'm sure that radio borrows a lot of crap out of that. If not, the FTDX10. If not, FL Rig, and then use WSJTX to work with FL Rig. And then there's another program called Omni Rig. You gotta play those games and figure out who's where in the who got there first scenario.
Yeah.
And, it'll get better in a couple of weeks, but you do not need CAT control for FT8. I mean, a lot of people think that you do, but you can get away with just setting the frequency manually to USB 14074 data mode, and then just work the PTT circuit or work off of Vox. It'll work just fine.
The other thing you can do, if you want to, is you could put FL Rig in there, because WSJTX will talk to FL Rig. Of course, FL Rig may have the same issue.
Might. That's what I was saying. Whoever gets there first, FL Rig, Omni Rig, or Hamlib, because WSJTX uses Hamlib. Yeah.
Middleware. Clinodev has been a member for 2 months.
Thank you, Clinodev. Clinodev. Clinodev.
Is it Clinodev or Clinodev?
He told me in the chat in Discord, and I
forgot too.
I'm busy desoldering. This is the center one that's got the massive ground plane behind it, and I'm already. Oh, look at that! It's just taking it. It's just doing it.
Don says FL Rig and the 710 works. Nice. So there you go. Don also said the FT480 Kenwood is the most compatible CAT control out there. All right.
That's the one a lot of people use because it was very well documented when it came out.
Anyway, he said it. Can we take his question? It's not a super chat. It's his member milestone.
Yeah, no, that counts. Membership milestone counts. Membership has its privileges.
Membership has its privileges. Geezer, you beat me to it.
Beef. It's what's for dinner.
You got to say it like Sam Elliott, though. Beef. It's what's for dinner. Do you find it quicker to wick up solder with the cutoff section of wick versus the whole roll acting as a heat sink?
I am using the whole roll as a heat sink to protect my fingers.
I do too.
What I find is even quicker is to use a desoldering iron. I had one from Anesty, Anesty. I don't know why they named themselves that, but Hacko also makes one. And when you're doing a lot of desoldering, which I desoldered an entire Commodore 64 motherboard, and it's on my other channel, it's like 8 hours of nonstop desoldering action with synthwave music in the background. It's pretty awesome. Those come in real handy, but they have their faults too. The other thing is, solder sucker, which I have, but solder wick works great. And the major trick to solder wick, this stuff has an expiration date. It goes bad. The rosin inside dries up, and you can either reflux it or you can just toss it and buy a new one because it's made of copper, so it's relatively expensive.
I learned that from Hollywood. He told me that, and I sat there and refluxed. I just ran it through my little tin of flux, and holy crap, it actually worked. I was like, whoa, that's better.
That man knows his stuff.
It's Clinodev, but I don't care. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to call you Frank.
Right. That would be an insult.
Let's see. Oh, next question from James.
EP, I have lots of channels, brother.
Oh, and
Craig is temporarily offline retro tech is the one I'm talking about.
Craig has also dropped in a question too. Craig, you're next. James has asked, how long have both of us been in amateur radio? How long have you been in tech?
You've been in tech longer than I have, only because you're a geezer.
Does he mean tech level or in technology?
I think he means technology. We'll go with both because you have to be a tech in order to be in ham. So
I was a tech for like 22 minutes or so. Yeah. Go ahead.
I got started in technology in the 90s, early 90s, maybe late 80s. It depends on which you count. But, I got recognized for my efforts in the 90s. And then I started in ham, I want to say in 2016. I'd always been curious about it, but I did ham in 2016. And we talked about this on a live stream a long time ago on a channel far, far away. Ouch, that's hot. it's not necessarily how long you've had your license, it's how active you are. I know people that get their license and then never do anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had my license for 30 years. Oh, well, that's great. When was the last time you had PTT'd, son? And it's been a while. Yeah. When's the last time that Jim or I did anything ham? I mean, I've already done more ham stuff, and I'm not making fun of anybody. I've already done more ham stuff today than a lot of people have done in the last month or so, because I'm making these videos and I just want to watch the world learn.
I've had a prime example of what he's talking about. I've had my pilot's license for 20 years. The last time I flew was 2008. So
you were neither proficient nor current.
I am neither proficient nor current. I would have to take a check ride. Well, I wouldn't have to take a check ride, but I'm like 5 BFHs away, or what, biennial BFRs, biennial flight reviews. I am not qualified to kick the tires on Pilot Bill's aircraft at this point in my career, my flying career.
You can't even kick the tires on Airhammer's aircraft.
Right.
Pilot Bill flies real planes.
Right. Ron would not let me sit in the right seat. He'd duct tape my hands together, don't touch anything. So I've been in ham since 2019. I got my license in September of 19. I had been interested in ham radio forever, but ex-wives, money, career, I just never got back into it. I had a buddy a long time ago in the 80s who was a ham. And I was always interested, and we talk about this stuff all the time. But I've always been fascinated by radio. I mean, I programmed all the fire department radios. I've been in technology literally every day of my life since I graduated high school. Actually, since my senior year of high school is all I have ever done. Did it in the Air Force, did it as a side hustle, did it for a regular job at multiple places.
The side hustles were great. Running Ethernet cable in buildings.
Did that?
Make a ton of money doing that.
Did that for the Air Force. Was a contractor installing frozen yellow garden hose at transportation offices on Air Force bases. There is nothing as awesome as crawling in World War II buildings' attics. Yeah, it was awesome. But yeah, I've done tech stuff forever. I got my license in September of 19. I took tech. I had not studied for tech. I looked at the questions briefly one day and said, I could probably fake all this just from background, fire department and other stuff. And took tech. They said, you passed it, you want to try general? Hit me. And I had actually studied a couple weeks because I knew they would do that. And I passed my general and that was it. And then I finally got my extra 2 years ago.
Yep, I was there.
Yeah.
I was your VE, son.
Yes, one of them. You, Carlos. I think Carlos.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
No, I think this was before Carlos got his extra.
No, Carlos has been my VE for sure. I know at least once.
Yeah.
He just never changed his call sign.
So I got the part out, and now I'm just cleaning up the solder holes. Got myself a little collection of solder wick going on over there. But this thing was hot to the touch when I picked it up because it's got its own heat sink built into it as well.
I would have probably done my ham license in the 80s, but I had zero interest or time with She Who Cannot Be Named being chained to my soul to do anything like that. It was all I could do to not get kicked out of the Air Force because of her, so. Yes, 1-800 mesothelioma, very possibly, who knows?
Nice.
Smoking helps. It keeps the asbestos from causing cancer. All right, next question. Craig, Whiskey 5, Charlie Bravo Whiskey. That's a decent call sign, Craig. I do like that.
Welcome back from Alaska. Good to have you.
He is very much interested in a suggestion T.O. made to him recently that involved what I will term naked FT8. By this I mean using
I think I know
app
what he's
on a
talking about.
smartphone.
Yep. No wires, no Bluetooth, no nothing. Just you, the breeze, and the contacts. I'm reaching under my desk for some IPA, some isopropyl alcohol.
Isopropyl alcohol.
I like it when the foreigners call it isopropanol.
Using an app on the smartphone to handle the exchanges needed for successful FT8. Used for
Keep talking.
POTA when voice is going badly.
So what do you want to know about it?
That's what he said.
So there is an app you can get on your phone called FT8CN because it's made by a Chinese ham, and he is not affiliated with any particular company or any government or anything like that. He's just a dude just like us. You might not like what China represents, but the people inside don't necessarily,
Right.
I don't know. You know where I'm going with that. And it'll just play audio out of your speaker, and it'll pick up sounds from the atmosphere through your microphone, and everything will be good. These two little guys over here, they've got their center taps clipped. I did not do that. That was already there. So you just get your radio to do FT8 stuff, and when it's your turn to transmit, you hold the PTT button on the mic and you put it up to the speaker on the radio. You hold the PTT button on the mic and hold it up to the speaker on your computer. Wow. FT8CN, Jason Lockwood, FT8CN. I did a video on it a while ago. I didn't do a video on how to do it in the air, but I noticed this one day when I was getting my station all set up, and I was decoding FT8 because I had the computer laptop set up with the FT8 software running, and I had the radio on the FT8 frequency, but I didn't have them wired in together, and I was getting decodes on the screen. I'm like, you can decode that? Wow. Obviously, there's going to be some signal issues, some signal degradation issues.
Okay, let me take a look at the chat here. And I have posted the link for the questionnaire in the chat a couple of times, so if you guys got questions, drop them in there or in the form of a super chat. Let's see what else is going on in the chat here.
Yeah, you can't be mad at China for picking up a slack where the U.S. government said we're not allowed to do that stuff anymore, or made it cost prohibitive to do that stuff. So now I need the Midzu Pro Industrial Parts, and these are just off-the-shelf MOSFETs. And the only job this thing has is to take electricity and turn it into heat. And they're ginormous as a result. Look how big those things are.
Wow, it is stout. Let's see. Doc Adams, N3IM, licensed in 1973.
Nice.
Last PT today, POTA hunting. My man. If
Nice.
you can't be a POTA hunter, my brother.
Right. So, Craig, there's another app that you might be interested in, and my buddy Mike the Traveling Ham, KE0VIM, uses an app called SodaMate, and the A in mate has a over top of it. So it's SOTAMAT.
That's an M-word, I think.
I don't know whether it's the dots or it's the circle or it's the caret. I don't know which one is called
No,
what, but
that's the signal for Earth on the Stargate.
yes, chevron.
The chevron. That's
And
the
if
Earth chevron.
you've watched the Da Vinci Code, those are penises. The sacred masculine.
I have not watched the movie. I read the book.
It's in the book. That's where I got it. I don't think they mentioned it in the movie.
Okay.
So anyway, that SodaMate app will allow you to spot yourself by sending prearranged messages before you get to your destination, because you have to really do it on the computer and then use the cell phone app to do the sending. And you hold the PTT and you do the same thing. You hold your phone up, you hold your PTT up, and then people see you on the spotting pages. Magic.
I don't have a question. I had something I wanted to share with several of the people. Today I learned, and it's probably been out a while, I just haven't updated in a minute. I fired up Smart SDR for the Mac at work this morning. And lo and behold, now built into the current version of Mac Smart SDR, it will do slow scan TV decode built in.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
This is like
Thought that was pretty
anti-seize.
swank.
It gets everywhere when you use it.
Thought that was pretty swank.
So we got the part in, we got the heatsink compound on. Oh, crap. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the heatsink on, which is going to hold it down to get the solder angles right, and then I'm going to take the heatsink back off.
From the Ham Shack, dropped a $5 super chat. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have either of you ever had the dream where you're standing on a pyramid in the sun, godlike robes, and there are naked women throwing little pickles at you? No.
So when I had that dream, all the women were running around going, "All hail the sun god! He is a fun god! Rah, rah, rah!" Where's Freddie Mac when you need him?
I didn't dream anything about pickles. The naked women part is a recurring thing. Yeah.
That's like every day.
Right.
I don't even have to be dreaming to be. Never mind.
Me neither. I'm thinking about it right now. Damn you.
It went into standby mode. That scan line doesn't show up in person. It's the artifact of the camera. It went into standby mode. I picked it up. It's got a little accelerometer in it, and I realized it was being held, and started warming itself back up again. So it kind of goes into chill mode for a while there. And then I didn't put this link in the description, but this is the best solder ever.
Kester
6337 leaded solder. All the death. Breathe deeply in the opposite direction. Wet the tip. You can see the solder just blows right towards me.
Exactly, Mark. Mostly a pickle is just a pickle.
Got that one good.
All right, let's see if we have another question. A legitimate question. We have some older ones that we need to catch up with anyway.
Yes.
Boinkmatic.
Hey, Boink.
He is saying, oh, and a new one just popped in. I saw it happen live. Grumpy Don dropped one.
Awesome.
Don, you know I say that with love.
Oh, he knows. Don's one of us.
Boink is asking, I need help figuring out what the frequencies are for around where I live. It seems they don't use the ones on Radio Ref. I programmed the ones listed, but never hear anybody talking on them. The ambulance crew said they use something different now.
He's talking about scanning frequencies, not ham frequencies.
So you're kind
which you are allowed to do. You can listen.
You're kind of at the mercy of Radio Reference or having a buddy in the radio shop. There's no magic answer for that. As someone who rode the bus for a while, bless my heart.
Bless your heart.
But also the fire department, it just depends on where you live. Boink, if you put in a new question and give me a location, we will potentially, if time permits, go live, look on Radio Reference and see what's on there. But it also depends on what kind of system they're using. For example, here in Montgomery, all the frequencies are listed for our P25 system. They're all there. And if you program them all in, you ain't going to hear the Montgomery Fire Department because they're 100% encrypted. You'll hear the county fire department.
Will you even hear like a chatter?
Nope. Unless you go out of your way to tell your scanner to play encrypted channels, and by default, all of them will not even play.
It recognizes encrypted in place silence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It sees the data header that it's an encrypted channel and just ignores it. And that's every scanner I've ever seen. DSD Plus is the same thing. You have to go actively turn it on if you want to listen to because that's all you'll hear. So it depends on your scanner. You have to have a scanner that will scan digital channels, for example, with P25. It has to be a non-encrypted channel. The ambulance company I worked for was using Southern Link, which is a IDEN system like Nextel used to be with the beep beep. So you can't scan an IDEN system that I know about. You'd never hear any of the ambulance companies here in Montgomery. And there's two, there still is. And I don't know what they're using now, but you can't scan IDEN, to my knowledge. So it depends on a lot of stuff. Again, they publish all the frequencies for the P25 system here, but if you want to listen to Montgomery Fire, you're going to hear nothing but silence. So you need to look on Radio Reference and see if they have the encrypted flag turned on. Or is it digital? Is it analog? But if you shoot me in Discord or put it in the chat or update the questionnaire, I will see if I can find that and we can see what you got. And yeah, Mark Hughes is also correct. You can also look in the FCC database.
If you want to talk about a slow website.
Yeah, which is painful. Very painful. All right. I hate that I can't give you a better answer, Boink, but your mileage may vary. Don N5SK Tizzle. So is there an app for Android for the VGC radios that tracks Doppler on satellites by controlling the VFO to change frequency?
There is. This just happened. The comms channel is a YouTube channel out there, and he's got it. He's showing you that it works. The N7600 just came out, and then they did some updates. They are constantly updating that app. K8MRD complained that he couldn't see the screen, so they changed the text from red on black to yellow on black, so it's visible. They were talking about it doesn't have smart beaconing, which is true. It didn't. Now it does. Did not do Mike E support. They misunderstood the message, so they allow you to send Mike E messages out, but they still don't decode inbound Mike E messages. If you're deep in the weeds of APRS, you know what Mike-E is, MIC-E. And if you're not, then this doesn't bother you at all. And then they just did Doppler shift for satellites built in to the new software.
You've dropped out twice. I don't know if that was you or me.
I saw you drop out too. I don't know who did what part.
Okay.
I'll blame you though. It works better for me that way. So we have the new part soldered in, and we need to do some testing. Some testaroonie. So this thing needs USB power. Oh, it's not the right kind of USB power either. It's micro fracking USB. Dang it. I do have the right power connector for that though. This is why we make Go kits.
Right,
it'll actually also work off of a 12-volt barrel connector.
Nightbot is being offended by somebody.
We need to play with Nightbot. With Mark, our buddy from Boondock Echo.
Yeah.
Is there an echo in here?
Yeah, he banged like 5 or 6 times and Nightbot's vetching at him. Okay. Let's see.
Turn the power supply off.
Chris Bricker, I have absolutely 100% agreement with you. I think it's complete BS that Montgomery Fire Department is encrypted. It's retarded. It's stupid.
Stupid head.
And, never mind. I'll start ranting. This isn't that show. Okay.
No, that's Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. Central
Sunday
Time on
morning.
FEP Labs Radio on YouTube.
All right. Sean Clark has 2 questions in here.
It's allowed.
From May. So we've kind of not gotten to Sean anyway.
Well, crap.
Just
okay,
one.
VN plus.
Oh, he gave us a comment. He said we have come a long way where we tested the bad coax.
Thank you, Sean.
And then his other thing was, if you're lacking content questions, what is your go-to antenna when you must make a contact? Not going to like my answer, Sean.
Carbon fiber whip.
No, it depends.
Right.
Honestly.
So should I give a better antenna answer than Jim did?
Sure.
I love the 17-foot whip.
I mean, I just bought one. I bought a 34. I wanted the big one.
I want that 34. I got the 17. I got the 25. I got the 5.8. There's a 9
I'll let
out
you
there.
touch my mast at Huntsville.
Again? Awesome. What a guy. Any folks who watch Red Dwarf, what a guy. Talking about Ace Rimmer. That's a very arcane reference. I think 3 people will get it. And if you haven't watched Red Dwarf, start with season 2 and then go back to season 1. Don't start with season 1.
Danny is watching it on TV tonight. He said hams on a big screen, probably not a good idea. What's up, Danny? How are you?
Danny, I shaved just for you.
I
think a lot of our ham radio videos, we're like right up here on the camera, and then people watch it on their 42-inch TV, and you can see every single nose hair.
All the pores. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. Starman Tommy said the 17-foot doesn't get a portion of, I think he meant whip. 17-foot whip doesn't get a portion of 20.
Which portion doesn't it get?
I don't know.
It depends on which flavor you get too. There are like 3 different types of 17-foot whips out there. We got a battery tester. We must have the appropriate battery to test. This is a 3 amp hour prototype Denko. So if we plug this thing in, it's going to tell me that there is 13 volts coming out of the battery, and it's trying to draw 0.1 amps. I'll turn that down. So let's turn it up and see that that fan spins, and if the power comes out, oh, this is what it did not do last time.
We have spin.
Yep, and we have amperage readings.
Better good.
And I turn this thing up to 10 amps, and that's where I kind of chill out. And yes, I'm pulling 10 amps out of a 3 amp hour battery. How does that work?
And what's your, well, you can pull 10 amps out of a 3 amp hour battery for 20 minutes.
For one third of an hour, yeah.
Yeah.
So she's working. Ta-da! Great success.
What size wire is that you're
This?
Oh, you've got it doubled up. Okay.
I do have it doubled up, and not only that, oh, come on. The wire that comes out of the Denko is half the size of this. This should be double 12.
Yeah, that looks right. That wire coming out of the Denko looks like 16.
Yeah, probably.
All right, Jody has dropped a 7-digit loony super chat rather.
Yes.
Is Jim willing to mediate a reconciliation table with MMDVM and M17 attending, or at least bring out the wheel of feelings and have them each point? I would be a good arbitrator for that, because I don't care about M17 at all.
You have no dog in this fight.
I have literally no dog in that. As we say down here, I ain't got no dog in that hunt.
All right, so she works. This one here, I don't believe is the calibratable model. The bigger boy, I linked both of them down in the chat. I linked this one here, and I linked that one there. And this is the upgraded model with Bluetooth and calibration and blah, blah, blah. This one here, this one's just a load.
Scott says it's time for calibration.
That's what I'm talking about right now. This one does not, to the best of my knowledge, at this time, I don't think this one is calibratable. I could be wrong.
Tommy's saying he thinks 98% of the ham ops are with Jim on M17.
I got no problem with it. I mean, I like it just as much as I like any other D-Star. But, you know, so what is this thing? Let me unzoom now that the work is done. Look at that amazing camera work. You can actually see it in real time. Oh, hang on. I didn't tighten the nut down enough, and then I can adjust it right there. So this thing here takes electrical wigglies from here and turns them into heat, as I've said, but it'll do whatever you plug it into on its terminal connectors, on its terminal block, or it will do mini USB, micro USB, USB-C, USB-A, or a barrel jack. And so, you know, you want to be wise to the amount of power you can draw from the thing under test. If it can't supply 10 amps, don't ask it to supply 10 amps, because this thing it'll just try its best. And you might cause some problems. What I did was I purposefully tried to shove too much power into it, and phew, that was that loud sucking sound y'all heard from this part here.
Right.
But the Pine Cell got the job done.
So we had we have another question about soldering, as a matter of fact.
Go for it.
That segue was beautiful. James, KI5OEB, he's gotten 2 questions in tonight because he's putting them in the form.
He's also a member.
And he's a member.
Thank you, James.
Seamus is asking, what size solder do you use with electronic boards like tonight? What size for PL259s?
It is worn off. And I use the same size solder for everything because this is a lifetime supply.
Yeah, same here.
I've literally built like 7 computers with this and repaired about 100 computers and radios with this, and I still have half a spool left. But if you want to click on that link in the chat and the description in the notes, it'll tell you the size. But this is a pound of solder, and I've had this for 9 years. I mean, I built an entire Commodore 64 with this.
I am going to drop some linkage.
It probably is 3.1, Jody.
In the chat. I hope I can do all this at one go and I don't have to do multiple.
It might format really weird. Who knows? How many pounds? 1 pound. 1 pound
it's
of solder.
All in there.
About half a pound left.
It didn't make a table.
It's not terrible.
But you can tell what it is. Ted W
Cool
has dropped
down.
a $1.99 super chat.
Thank you,
Chip in
Ted.
$2 extra for the Canadian exchange rate.
He's helping Jody out there. Much appreciated.
All right.
So this is the Pine Sill, which is a knockoff of the T100, and it's a good knockoff. And I like the people at Pine Sill. You can power it off of USB-C or off of 12-volt barrel jack, and it'll do power delivery. So it'll negotiate. If you have a not so strenuous job like the one that I did was very strenuous, you might be able to get it with a regular USB-A, 5 volts deal. But if you have something super strenuous like that, then you really want something, a power supply with some rear end to it.
The other thing I would say about the Pine Sill and TO is going to probably go apoplectic when I say this. Depending on what you solder or soldering, that may or may not be efficacious. So the Pine Sill is a great soldering iron and it gets hot. But if you are soldering something chunky, you need a bigger soldering iron.
Well, so that's what I was demonstrating here in the beginning. That center tap, you can see the size of the trace, and it is also connected to this entire heat dissipation ground plane up here. So I was able to brute force my way through that with the Pine Sill set at 800. But it really depends on what you use as a power source, which is now blocked by the camera. You have to have a really good power source. Where's my battery? This battery that I love, my beloved battery, doesn't have enough ass to do the job. It just can't provide enough output. And what does it say for output? I can barely read that. USB-C output, 12 volts, 1.5 amps. You're not going to make it on this.
No.
And this thing does 20 volts, 2.5 amps. So that's why we were able to get it done. It really does depend on your battery, on your power source.
Jason Lockwood dropped the $2 super chat. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jason. So this thing here, a lot of people when they hear USB-C powered, they think that it's got a battery in it. There is no battery in this. You need a power source for it.
You are the battery.
Yeah. And then these I was playing with earlier. These are what they call hot tweezers. And this is made by Secure. And these things are great for doing Mars mods on radios. You just reach into that surface mount component, you go zip, and it comes right out. It's awesome. So, and all of that fits inside of that case. The only thing that doesn't fit in here is solder because I'm waiting for my wife to run out of another bobbin.
Papa Fox is saying he's got an 80-watt soldering iron. I have a 100-watt Weller station. The only thing I ever change out is the tip, honestly. And now I have the Pine Sill here, and I 3D printed a fabulous case for it, and one for TO, which I don't think he's shown.
Yes, I have not shown it.
Why are you in that ghetto case when I made you one?
Because all of my ghetto cases fit in here. And somebody mentioned this in the comments earlier. So that's the end of the overhead segment for tonight. So I will remove the extra camera.
The beauty of the Pine Sill, why am I smaller?
Well, Jim, it's called genetics.
Your mom didn't mind. So,
did you warm her up first? She's been dead for a while now.
I found this online, and I have created a Pine Sill kit. So this is pretty much, for me, everything. I have spare tips. I don't want this crap to dump out.
Right.
I have a solder spool dingus.
The bearing thing is awesome in there.
The bearing, this snaps into this tray, and then you can put the hot soldering iron in the middle of the bearing so it won't slag your thing. And then I have a little hand tool. I don't really want to take all this crap out. I've got solder wool, solder, a torch, Phillips screwdriver.
Jim didn't update the FDIA sheet like he said he would. That's why it still says 2,400 is the donation that you need to make for the cookout.
Oh, I didn't update the website. I'll take that and get that done.
Thank you, Marvin. Yeah, I made a bunch of changes to it again today because November 1, Oscar Grouch complained.
I saw him whining. Yeah, you can export your document as an HTML directly, but I had ChatGPT reformat it so it logically made sense a little better. And I need to do that again. Or you need to fix your document.
It's just a Google Doc.
Just saying. Marvin, thank you for the $10 super chat.
Basis.
And Tio will totally give Mrs. Tio that $5.
No, I'm going to give her all 10 of it. You know how that works, Jim. You're married.
Yeah. You ain't get, never mind. All right, let's see if we have any other questions.
The minute I turn that off, there might be some overhead demonstration coming up in the future.
All right. I think we got everything. We are caught up on questions.
Awesome. Well, we only got 5 minutes left. Y'all need to enter in some more questions.
Yeah. We might consider doing free questions, or at least we'll mock you for asking them. Unless it comes with a super chat. If it comes with a super chat, we'll be all legitimate and
of course,
and real.
Ah, yes, because I stole her bobbins. That's right, Marvin.
Yeah. I saw that. Somebody asked about the bobbins.
That's what I wanted to do. I told you about this. This is that last link that I dropped you, and I wanted to get Jim's honest reaction when I brought this up. This is the monster mat from Quirky QRP. The mammoth mat. Because it just keeps going and going and going.
What's on it?
My head.
What all the hell's on that?
Everything, including the TO logo. I mean, on a cold night, I could use this to warm myself. But it's basically a ginormous mouse pad, and it's designed for you to take to Parks on the Air and stick it on the picnic table so you don't get your gear all scuzzy.
Right.
So, I don't know if
you're not dragging your mouse over your wood.
Right, exactly. So there's
chart
a big radio waves chart and some useful information there. And I asked James to make this into dark mode when he did it, because the white ones, I don't know about you, but every so often I spill my cup of coffee, and I don't know how to get a coffee stain out of the big ass mat. But that's it, and it is the size of my ham shack.
That is beautiful, man.
Yeah. And I love the fact that he was able to get the logo. Oh, wrong side. Get my logo on there.
Well, you had that rolled up, and for a minute I thought, well, that was one of those Japanese anime pillows that a certain demographic sleeps with.
Now remember, half of our audience or more is in that demographic, so you got to be polite to them.
I said a certain demographic. I didn't say the other thing.
You didn't say which demographic, right?
Right. Yeah.
So this is the big one. So I'm actually doing a ham shack remodel, and that's a show we need to do. I think collectively, I think we should come up with not what specific radio model a new ham needs, but what a new ham needs in their station, kind of radio agnostic. Like, I don't care if you're a Yaesu fanboy or you're an ICOM fanboy, even though they don't come with mounting brackets, or you embrace China or hate China. That's totally on you. But like, what should you be able to do? Because I keep wanting to set up my shack, and every time I run into a brick wall, I'm going to need about 37 antennas upstairs here, and that ain't going to work. Like, I want a scanner, I want to do APRS, I want to do WinLink, but I want to do APRS uninterrupted. So I can't share my station back and forth, and then how far apart
are you going to digipeater, or are you just going to iGate and listen? Because I've already solved it in my head for you.
I'm going to transmit. That's where the issue gets in.
That's
then
your
you
wrinkle.
Get antenna proximity concerns.
Well, you could use a multi-coupler, right, if you were just going to iGate.
That would be a painful yoga mat, Nate. It's only about yay thick. There ain't no cushion on that. It's traction, yes.
You're only about yay thick. I mean,
yeah. I have a comeback, but I already got you good tonight. So.
True. I know. I kind of opened myself up for that one.
Yeah.
Furries have a 6 dB advantage. Who are we to judge?
We didn't say who they were, Jody. That's on you for thinking that's who we were talking about.
Whatever you think. Troy said, lay it on the grass and chase satellites.
That would be cool. I'll lay it on the grass, then I'll lay on top of it. Yeah.
And Wild Bill said a shack should have wheels and an amplifier. So
they're asking about the overhead camera. This is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. And now that you guys have done it, I'll show you the demo. Let's see if I got my... Oh, it is still set up. Shut up. So Let's share this out again. Plus extra camera. I knew it was going to do it. Jim with the balloons.
Does 2 peace signs do something different? Yeah, that gets the confetti.
Okay. So this is the cool part. This is the best part about this camera is let me get it to focus on something. All right, so we've got a track in the mouse. And I don't know if you guys can see it I'm going the wrong direction. But the head of the camera moves and that mouse stays anti-jittery in the front of the screen. And that's the one that, some of y'all love it, some of y'all hate it. But we do that tracking thing back and forth. So let's do that. Come on. There we go. So now it's going to follow my hand around. And my other hand is free. I'm not doing anything with the other hand.
That's cool.
So I can go, look over there. Well, it changed the texture of the hand. Anyway, it does cool stuff, and I like it. And I had it for about a year.
Bill said, Tio, drop the link to the method of hanging and adjusting.
Bill, I will have to look that up because I got that a while ago. And let's see if I can show it to you. Turn the camera off again. But it is an articulated arm. And then when you tighten down this head here, it locks in that position. And it locks the pivot point here, it locks the pivot point here, and it locks the pivot point back here. And then I've got a C-clamp holding it onto the shelf here, which is the same shelf that's over here. You guys have seen my ham shack before. So that's the...
I gotta figure out which way to move my chair. I got me amp back today.
Nice.
From Mercury. And I got my new printer today, so that's why there's a green benchy sitting on the amp. I didn't have time before the show to get both of them hooked up. Because I have to rearrange over here to get the amp in. Let's see. Do we have?
Oh, Bill's already got the thing. All right. I think that's. Oh,
how much?
Let me
how
check
much
the
does
notes.
that camera cost?
This is $700 or $800, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking it was. I'm digging my OBS bot cameras. I have 2 of them now. I have not tried one as overhead. I've got a nice Logitech for overhead stuff.
They're not portable though, right?
No, they require USB-C.
Yeah.
Yeah. I cannot record to it unless it's hooked to a computer.
Yeah. So it's USB-C data connection, which probably is also the power.
And power, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the show notes.
You can go completely mobile with that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Completely. And I got the creator combo, which came with a bag that I don't use, and cover, which then has a lens. It's got a wide angle lens, which I'm afraid to use because it's magnetic and it'll fall off. And the small battery, the extended battery, and the tripod. And so I always leave the small battery inside of a camera clip so I can quick disconnect. So this thing comes right off. I can actually unplug it from USB, and then I've got it tethered. So I've got this shoe thing on here, which is a 1/4-20
for your tripod.
It matches on the tripod and it matches on the overhead, so I can very quickly do it. And then the camera itself, those things are USB-C, and they are interchangeable. Where is the other part? And it came with the microphone. So this is the extended battery with the tripod on it, and it just snaps right in place.
Is that what you do your walk around with?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then how come you're borrowing my? Oh, you're not.
Not at the.
It's like you're borrowing my gimbal every time.
Yeah, because the way Coffee and Ham Radios does the stream is you have to be able to hear what's going on.
Oh, you can't hear with that. I got you.
Yeah.
That would work for you live streaming yourself.
Yeah, and so I've got that set up coming because I'm going to a Hamfest this weekend, and if I have time to get away from my table, if all the items sell good and all that jazz.
Are you going to be back? Are you going to be available on Sunday?
Yeah, it's just up in Grand Junction, so it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours away. $10 table, Hamfest up there. So if you guys are in the Grand Junction area, swing by the Hamfest and say hi.
Speaking of Hamfest, before we go, and I know we're over time, I need a Diet Dr. Pepper and I need a smoke. Huntsville Hamfest is less than 2 weeks away.
It is.
I'll be heading to Huntsville via Buc-ee's on Wednesday. I'll be picking up Sparky from the airport. Damn it.
Unless one of you guys is actually going to be at the airport at 2 o'clock already. Let me know in the Discord in the Huntsville FDIA room.
Because I'm gonna be leaving here like 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:30. And other than stopping at Buc-ee's to get lunch, because brisket sandwich, I guess I'm going to be hanging up on the mountain until I have to drive all the hell the way back out toward the interstate to the airport to get him. And I don't mind. I'm not ditching him because I don't want to listen to that yeah again for the next 3 years.
If you didn't ditch me in the first place, you wouldn't have to listen to it.
I was sick. I'd had to listen to you bitch about me getting you sick. So it would be helpful if one of y'all was available around 2 p.m. to pick up him from the Huntsville airport.
I'm sure somebody's going to be landing at that airport at that time.
And he's too cheap to get his own car. I mean, I will take responsibility. No, don't. That's stupid. I'll take responsibility for schlepping him around the whole time. It would just be more convenient for me personally if someone else could get his ass from the airport. But that's fine. No, Jim is not going to be sick. Jim was sick 2 weeks ago. I'm over sick now. I will have some crap to sell at Huntsville. There will not be a Coffee and Ham Radios live stream. This is not Coffee and Ham Radios because we don't stream on Saturday anymore. There will be Ham Church on Sunday morning. I'm hoping I can get Joe Brett to assist me as my roving reporter and sidekick. And I'll be sitting with Jeff and Tom at their tables, our tables, because I need to give them some money, where we're selling Tom's cool stuff he made, and I'm selling some stuff I just don't need anymore or use. Why are you making that face? Are you holding in a fart, or?
No, I was reading something in the comments.
Oh.
Not in the comments here, in the comments there. I was trying to see the, what's it called? I was trying to see if there was anything that we missed in the notes, and then everybody talks to me. They forget I'm doing a show for the last 6 years at 7 p.m. Central.
It's like the guy who asked you to post a list of crap for sale, and the comment that he replied to had the list of crap for sale.
Yeah. Who might be watching?
Well, we didn't mention his name. Thank you, Phil. I appreciate that. You're correct. The cool kids. Well,
John, I am never busy for you, John, because you're a member.
All right.
You know what? This is another thing Restream doesn't do. Restream doesn't tell me who members are. I know John's a member, but he's not indicating that he's a member in Restream.
That's a YouTube integration it's not doing, yeah.
Yeah, and same with James. I know James is a member, and I know Jody's a member, and I know Don's a member. Thank you all for being members, by the way. You guys are amazing. I didn't see that at all. Nobody saw that. Restream.
We're both the grumpy ones. Yeah. I love Huntsville's Hamfest. I love Huntsville Hamfest.
It's the friendliest Hamfest, and they really mean it, actually.
Actually, mostly because it's only a 3-hour drive instead of an all-day affair getting there.
If you can get to Dayton, Dave, you are. Thank you, Dave. If you can get to Dayton and get out of Dayton without having somebody, sir, you know, try and hold you back for like doing the obvious thing, like going through the gate wearing a badge. Where's your badge? Really? It's 5 p.m. on Sunday. Why are you badge policing me at 5 p.m. on Sunday?
Oh wow. Okay.
It happened. Hey, Patrick.
So is that clock with the dead battery showing up backwards?
Mine says Muppet. It's in the right direction.
Yeah.
My head's in the right direction. We're good. Is there any good food at the Huntsville Hamfest? No. Negatory.
Jesus God, no.
Thank you, other Andy. Yeah. You want worn out, dried stone burger? Sure.
It is Little League baseball quality food from the concession stand run by the Ugly Moms, sold to you at MLB prices. It's nasty. It'll do. I mean, if you just need some calories because your sugar getting low, but it's not good.
We need to like do a. You'll be at a table, Jim. Maybe you might be able to handle this. Order a pizza.
We did last year.
Yeah, have it delivered to the Von Braun Center.
We did. Tom
Awesome.
and Jeff, didn't we do that? I seem to remember we got pizza from somewhere. I think
I
we
want in
ordered
on
it.
that. I got cash. I want in on that.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, their food is crap. It's absolute shite. The burgers are not real beef, I'm pretty sure. The nacho cheese is from a 5-gallon bucket, and the chips come in a trash bag. I mean, it's not good. The soda's, fountain soda, it's passable.
Oh, we have a question. And Patrick has done some exciting giveaways, so we'll let this one
Pat.
slide.
What's up, brother?
Best device to have a low power repeater automatically switch over to battery. Just run it off the battery. And then a little solar panel.
Yeah, that would probably be easiest.
Yeah, I mean, but you're still talking like an old UPS if you wanted to automatically switch from shore power to battery.
Well,
because you wouldn't switch from battery to battery.
The Power Gate or the BB20, the Astron dingus, will do that.
Yep.
Automatically. The Astron thing is like $50 or $60, and it will charge the battery off of shore power, but it's only it's not putting out enough for a LifePo full charge, but it will work with the LifePo. Yeah.
It'll charge your battery up to 80%. That's good.
80%. Yeah. So now there's like 100 places around the venue outside to eat, but you will have to leave the venue and walk around downtown Huntsville. And there's a ton of great restaurants in downtown Huntsville.
Yeah, the Epic Power Gate is a good one, Patrick.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I knew it was a Power Gate. I couldn't remember what they called it.
Colin sent a question via the forum a while back.
Okay, let me look.
We might have already answered it like 3 shows ago.
Well, and he probably wasn't here because he was, being a Muppet. A Muppet.
Colin and VK knows what that means, by the way.
I know he does. That's why I said it. Oh, there. Well, he just dropped a question at 1956.
Oh, 2 minutes to closing. 4 minutes to closing. Don't math on stream. Don't math on stream,
Steve. What batteries would you use in very old HT scanners and transceivers? They usually use NiCads. Is the chargers building do a modern charge? Yeah.
Dennis found one at Dayton. He got an old radio, and then he went to like Batteries Plus or something.
Yeah. You can find them. That Yaesu radio I have, I bought a battery for. The one I bought at Dayton, the $30 old Yaesu HT. And I think it's a NiCad. And the issue may be that you can run a battery as long as you can produce enough voltage and current. But you just can't
Ronnie's
charge
buying
it.
us lunch at Huntsville.
Ronnie, I'm in. I've never ate at Ruth's Chris.
I did.
Everybody I know that's ever ate at Ruth's Chris made that exact face.
It was a company lunch.
They told me it was okay, but it's
when you're
pretty overpriced.
When you're $50 a plate, $60 a plate, you have higher expectations. When you're $10 a plate, Applebee's, sirloin is fine.
Yeah.
Batteries America from Garth, that's a good recommendation. Or make your own because you're a ham. Don't burn your house down. You've been warned.
Yeah. We don't know anything. We're a couple of ding-dongs on YouTube, so don't take our electrical advice, please. And you could also do what I do, not that I would know anything about this, but I'm usually carrying a laptop bag, and there may or may not be 2 frosty cold Diet Dr. Peppers in that bag because the venue doesn't serve Diet Dr. Pepper like barbarian heathens that they are.
How wrong of them.
Anyway, all right. I got nothing else.
Oh, it's time for the cat to eat. We must go.
Thank
you all.
Okay.
You guys are amazing as always. Jim, good stream.
Thank you. Steve, good stream. Y'all, good stream.
Aces.
Y'all are getting the memo that you need to put your questions in the forum. Otherwise, we'll mock you.
Yeah, it's fun to mock you. Yeah, only because it's fun. Yeah, we love you long time. We're all good.
Yeah.
Clicking the button. See y'all next.
Engage.